Year 7. We are on lesson number 8 today, and we will be starting a new piece of music called Little Rock Star. This piece of music will be using note G and also some of the rhythms that we looked at last week. So lots of new stuff today. As well as starting our new piece, we'll also have a run through of When the Saints, since that's what you were practicing last week. Right, so when you're ready, let's get our trombones safely on the floor and put together, ready to have a warm-up. Let's begin our warm-up today with some breathing exercises. We are going to breathe in for 4 counts and blow out for 4 counts. Remember to breathe in through your mouth, and when you blow out, you could use that 2 sound at the start and really blow out with determination, okay? Not just one. Okay? So when I put the click on, and as soon as I start counting, that's when we start breathing in. 4 counts and then out for 4 counts. We'll do it twice in a row. So relax your shoulders, stand up straight. Here we go. When I start counting, we start breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4. In. Out. Good. Okay, one extra challenge with breathing. Let's keep breathing in for 4 beats, but then we're going to try and breathe out for 6 beats this time, okay? So, start like in neutral. When I start counting, we start breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out. Good, well done. All right, good to get some oxygen into our brain before we start playing. So let's move on to our trombone. Make sure it's together, bell to the left, make sure it's tightened enough. And we are going to be playing our 6 notes. So the last few lessons we've been going up from B flat, C, D, E flat to F. This week we are going to add on the G. Remember, G is in 4th position. It is higher than your D. Okay, so we're going from low to high. First of all, let's mime these notes. So bring your trombone up to play position, but stick your mouthpiece on your chin. Make sure we're standing up nice and tall. And have a look at your 6 notes. We are going to say and mime them. Let's use our click. We'll do a nice low click. We'll say it in time to the click. So this is our speed. Okay, here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. Good. Let's do that one more time. Let's get used to these movements we're making with our slide. Look at your slide as well. Make sure you're going to the correct position, not somewhere near it. It has to be out to 6th if it's in 6th, after the bell if it's in 4th. So really see if you're getting to the right place. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. Okay, we're going to play it this time, so bring your mouthpiece to your face. Same thing, 4 counts in, and we'll play those 6 notes from lowest to highest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. One more time, year 7. Back to 1st position, back to B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. We'll do it one last time. I just want to remind you to try and use that tongue on the start of the note. So the tongue has that or 2 sound and releases the air out. Also remember, we're getting higher, so as we go up to the F and the G, you might find that you have to blow a little bit faster. Imagine that cake's getting pulled further away for you and you're having to blow really far to get to those candles and blow them out. All right, one last time. Back to play position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Well done, Year 7. Let's rest position, slide lock on. If you want to have a few more goes at that, feel free, just pause the video, keep trying to get it to that G, but when you're ready, we'll be moving on to our new piece of music. Little Rockstar is a groovy version of a really well-known nursery rhyme. As soon as we start playing it, I think you're going to recognise it, which might really help you play this piece. So before we have a look at it, I want to remind you of 2 things. One is what note G looks like, and the other is some of those rhythms that we explored last lesson. So here is the G. Remember, it is in the top space of the stave. If there was a stem, it would be pointing down, and we will see this in our piece in a second. And then let's just have a look at our rhythm clock, where we saw these new rhythms. So especially look at rhythms 4 and 5. So this is where we had T-ta-T. A T on its own followed by a crotchet and then another T. So those TTs that we often see joined together got separated and have this tar sandwich basically. I want you to really memorise that rhythm because we will be playing that a lot in our newest piece, Little Rockstar. So to begin with, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to a minute just to see if you can spot as many G's as you can, and also if you can spot that rhythm happening. Remember, the rhythm might change notes, so the pitch might change. That's fine, just as long as the rhythm is the same. And remember, it doesn't matter if the stem, the line points up on the note or if it points down. Again, that doesn't change either our pitch or the rhythm. It's just written that way to help us read the music basically. So have a look. So let's start with note G. There are 2 bars that feature G. They are the 2nd bar of the piece. And then if you look down at the 3rd line, the 10th bar of the piece, the first 2 notes are G. So they're really high up on our stave. And then secondly, our rhythm, our T-ta-T, I can spot that quite a few times, including those same bars with our G's in it. So we have in bar 2, G, G, F, and that's exactly the same as bar 10. Hopefully you spotted them. It does happen again, that rhythm. It happens in bar 4, which is the end of the first line, and the very last bar of the piece. So we need to get used to saying that, that rhythm, T-ta-T. I had a thought that also, it makes me think of the word spaghetti. Maybe I'm just hungry. But either T-ta-T would work or spaghetti. And as well as tars in the other bars, we also have our moos, our 2 beats of silence. Remember, they're this little rectangle that sits on the middle line. Okay, so I think we're ready to do a bit of work on this. We're going to start with the first line and work through, first of all, our kadai sounds, okay? So let's try it with a click on to keep us in time. And let's just say our tars and tees and moos. If you'd like to try spaghetti on that rhythm, by all means do. Okay, here we go. First line, just the first line, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ti, ta, ti. Ta, 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 spaghetti. Great. Very good. Hopefully that went really well. So let's just point out a couple of the other things that come up in this first line, because we also have one of those words at the top which says groovy. Okay, so this is going to be a groovy piece of music. And we've got our F underneath to tell us it's another loud piece, forte. Okay, loud. Right, so let's look at the first 2 bars. I think this piece is a little bit more complicated than our others, so we're going to just break it down more than normal. Let's have a go at saying the notes of the first 2 bars. So we can see the flat sign before the first note, so that's got to be either B or E flat, and hopefully you can spot that's B. It's B flat, the stem's going up, it's on the second line. So we have 2 B's in a row, and then it jumps up to F. Okay, so quite a big distance between those 2 notes. Following the F, we have our G. So this is our newest note, the one to really look out for, and we have G, G, F. Okay, so let's just say those note names, just those 2 bars, okay? After 4, you can say, we'll just say B, we won't say B flat. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, B, F, F, G, G, F. Very good. Now, that first bar is interesting for us as trombone players, as we have 4 notes that are all in the same position, even though they're different. They sound different. So we have B, B, and F, F. We don't have to move our slide. So we're going to do the say and mine for those same 2 bars, but remember that the first bar, we don't move our slide. It's just the next bar where we have to remember to move our slide to 4th position for our G and back to F. So let's say the same thing, but miming. So trombones to your chins. Let's have a go. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, B, F, F, G, G, F. Good. One more time. Get that movement really quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, B, F, F, G, G, F. Good. Let's go ahead and play it. So the B flat and the F, both in first position. Remember the F is higher. Let's use our tongue and blow the air a little bit quicker to get the higher notes, okay? This is going to be quite challenging, but give it your best shot, and hopefully all the practice that we've been doing, these G's are going to start to come out. Okay, we'll do it twice, okay? Here we go, first 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, breathe. Well done. Let's give it another go straight away. Big breath in on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Rest position. We will come back to that, but let's move on to the next 2 bars. So we've already done the rhythm. It's actually the same, the rhythm. Full bar of tars, and then our ti, ta, ti, or spaghetti. Okay, so let's work out those notes. You might be able to see that it looks like they are going down. So we're getting lower. And our starting note is an E flat. So 3rd position. E flats, there's 2 of them. 2 Ds. Okay, so it's a bit of a pattern. We often repeat notes in this song. And then our last three notes, C, C, B flat. So let's say those note names, we'll mime them and then play them. Here we go. Saying them first. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, D, D, C, C, B. Great, let's move on to miming. Unlock your slide and let's make sure we are definitely in 3rd position just before the bell. You can see this bar is not going past the bell. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, D, D, C, C, B. So you have a long way to travel at the end there, all the way from 6th to 1st position. So I'm going to give you another go at doing that. The first movement is quite small, the E flat to the D, tiny movement. But by the time we get to C to B flat, that's a big movement. So have a good grip of that slide. Remember, try and avoid a fist. Any people holding fists, swap it to some fingers pinching it. I have some fingers underneath as well, just so I've got a very good grip. Let's do our miming one more time. Same bars. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, E, D, D, C, C, B. Very good. And then there's that moo on the last beat, last 2 beats. Okay, we're going to play that now. We'll give you 2 goes at that. So starting in 3rd. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Give it another go. Back to 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, Year 7. I can't tell you how important it is that you are using your tongue for these rhythms. T, ta, T. If we're going, it's going to be so much harder work. Sorry, get that tongue working. Okay, so let's put those 4 bars together now. I wonder, are you hearing what it is? What does it sound like? It should sound very similar to Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We've just put these funky rhythms in, or groovy rhythms, I should say, as it tells us to do at the beginning. So we're going to do the first line all the way through. Okay? Playing it, reading the notes, playing the rhythms, doing everything. Here we go. So get yourself in play position. Watch out for those first 4 notes. We don't move our slide, okay? If that's one thing we can accomplish today, I'll be really happy. All right, here we go. First position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. Rest position. We're going to do it one more time. I was thinking in that moo in the second bar, that's the moment to get your slide to 3rd position. So you're ready for the next bit, okay? Always looking ahead. That's what I keep saying, and it really helps. All right, we're going to do that again. Back to play position. Remember, fast air to reach up to that F in the first bar. Make sure your slide's unlocked, and then after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Rest position. Pause for a moment. Slide lock on. Good work, good concentration. It is harder, isn't it? Not only are the rhythms slightly more complicated, but pitching those higher notes and those big leaps, really challenging. You can imagine, I'm sure, how those lip slurs that we have been doing would really benefit this piece, swapping between 2 notes without changing your slide. Okay, so that first line is exactly the same as So good news, we've learned 2 lines already. So we just have 2 bars to look at now, because take a look at the second line and I want you to compare the first 2 bars to the second 2 bars. You should be noticing they are the same. So we've only just started and we've nearly learned the whole piece. Okay, so let's have a go at the second line. We'll work through our practice routine and then we've learned it all. Amazing. Let's start with our kadai sounds. So we haven't got that funky rhythm in this line, and we also don't have any G's, so it might be a bit easier for us. We do have 2 TTs joined together in the second bar, bar 6. Remember, they're twice as fast as our ta, so a ta, ti, ti. Okay? Let's say that middle line after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ti, ti. Ta, 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 ti, ti. Very good, so that's quite straightforward. Let's look at the notes. So again, we are descending in our sequence. That means going down. See if you can work out that top note. And then just look, it repeats and then it changes notes. It repeats and then it changes notes. And then we have our TT. So the first 2 notes in bar 5 are F. The second 2 notes are both E flats. And then the next bar we have D, D, C. So I just want to point something out. I can see the D in bar 6. The first one, the stem goes down. And then the next one, the stem goes up. It's still D. The important thing is where the round bit of the note is, and that goes through the middle line. So it actually doesn't change anything. It's just the fact that the next D is part of that TT and it joins with the C. So that's why that's like that. So let's say those note names. Remember, they're the same. So we say the first one, and then we just do it again. That's good, right? So after 4, saying the note names. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Great. Let's bring the trombone back to our chins and we'll try that same thing with our slides. Now, we have no first position in these notes. They're all going further out. So we start in third with our E's, we go a little bit further out for D, and then we stretch out for C. So we are nowhere near first. So watch your slide really carefully. Oh, no, we are. I'm so sorry. We start in first, don't we? We start on an F, and then we go through that pattern. I missed the first note. So apart from the first note, same thing that we are going down. We're extending the slide and then we repeat it. So get your slide in first position and let's say and mime. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Back to first. F, F, E, E, D, D, C. Good, and it's another quick movement for the TT, the D to the C. Okay, we'll try that. We get to do it twice anyway because it's repeated. So from bar 5, let's play those 2 bars twice, so the whole line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to first. Good, well done year 7. Okay, so rest position, slide lock on. So we've worked through the entire piece. I know we've not played it through yet, but what I would like you to do now is just spend maybe, I don't know, max 5 minutes just with the video on pause and just have another go in your own time at any of those moments. You might want to practice the very first bit, changing between the B flat and the F. You might want to practice your spaghetti rhythm with your tongue, and just getting used to this sequence of notes going down and extending our slide. So give yourself 5 minutes just to go over what we have done, and then we will be finishing next with a playthrough of When the Saints. But good start on Little Rockstar today, well done. Okay, I hope you had a good practice there, Year 7. And that's what you will be practicing next week. We'll keep working on Little Rockstar. But for now, let's have a playthrough When the Saints. You were practicing this last week, so hopefully you feel like you've got the hang of it really well now. Remember, the backing track is a little quicker than I expect. I might play you a little bit before we start so we get into the speed. So just a few things to think about with When the Saints. Use your tongue. Ta, 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 ta. It's going to really help get these notes out quickly. Remember the Mars, especially, well, for 2 reasons. Especially because it's on beat 1, so we want to make sure we don't get ahead of ourselves and come in early. We've got to wait for a shh on the first beat. But also, remember, that's a really good opportunity to breathe. And we need to breathe in this piece because we have lots of long notes that I want you to be working on holding all the way through. I don't want to hear, oh, when the saints. I want, oh, when the saints. Okay, so nice long notes as if you were singing it. And lastly, one other thing, just remember to stretch out for C. We've been talking a lot about our slide and making sure it's in the right position. And I think C is one of those notes that can be a little bit tricky. Also the D and the E flat, just making sure they're quite close together. So I think that movement in itself is just one to get control of. You can just practice that for me now. D, E flat, D, E flat. The other thing you might want to practice with your slide is the first 4 notes. B flat, D, E flat, F. Okay, so if you want to pause the video and just look at the notes one last time, then go ahead and then restart because we're going to play through. Let's have a listen. Have a listen to the speed of the track before we do it. Okay. Okay, so that's the speed we're going at. Get yourself in play position. Make sure you are stood or sat down with a really good posture. Remember that word? So your head is balanced nicely on the top of your spine. You're not slumped over. Roll back your shoulders. And then make sure we're holding our trombone in a really good way. No funny arms up or trombones tilted. You can have it pointed in front of you, but slightly angled towards the floor. Not down here, just about, you can see mine. It's not quite up there, and it's not quite down there. It's in the middle. Then we're going to go for it. So, get ready to breathe. Remember it goes do 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 da 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 da. Okay, here we go. 3, 4, 1. Fantastic work today, Year 7. We've got through 2 pieces. That's amazing. So your practice for next week is to carry on working on Little Rockstar. Go over stuff that we talked about today, and then you might start to be able to play it all the way through. That would be fantastic if you have a go at that. The other thing to practice is going up those 6 notes. It is a good way to work on your G, okay? Going up up to your G like that, but much slower, okay? It will help, and we need that G for Little Rock Star. So good luck with your practice. Let's carefully lock our slides and put our trombones away, and I will see you for our next lesson soon.